Adam, what else happened around Tar Heel athletics? Seemed like there are a whole lot of positive results.
So many wins to talk about.
Yeah.
This is the best kind of Olympic sports update. Wrestling got a huge one. On Friday night at Carmichael, beat the number 8 team in the country, Virginia Tech, 20-17. Tar Heels' first win over the Hokies since the 2019-20 season. Big wins from Gavin Kane, Joshua Ogunsanya, and then Spencer Moore got a win at 125 pounds over the number 4 ranked wrestler in the country. Huge win for the Tar Heels, who came into that meet ranked number 25. They will go up in the new polls, and then they're traveling to Duke this coming Friday.
It's a really nice win. I mean, ACC wrestling the last couple of years has really been dominated by NC State and Virginia Tech. Those two teams have really been the best. Pittsburgh and Carolina have been trying to get there. Duke and Virginia also have teams. I mean, they're trying to get there. So that's a really nice win by Carolina as it continues to take steps forward in Coach Cole's second year.
2 good wins for women's basketball. The win over Duke on Thursday night, which was after we recorded for Friday's show. Not artistic, but a victory.
What a crazy game that was. Carolina had 26 turnovers and won the game. The defense from both sides was impressive.
There's something about when you put those two teams together, they can't make a shot.
Yeah.
But pretty consistently, Carolina makes more shots than Duke, which we like.
Yeah.
So be as ugly as you want. It doesn't matter. As long as the Tar Heels win, 2-0's fine. But then Carolina went out and scored 80 against Boston College on Sunday. Beat the Eagles 80-67. Alyssa Usby had 17. Tar Heels were down 3 at half, but played really well in the second half.
Well, they were a lot better for 3 of the 4 quarters. Carolina had a very not quality second quarter, and they were in a little bit of foul trouble too. Carolina was pretty clearly the better team in the first, third, and fourth quarter, and eventually the results showed that.
Renai Kelly had 14 points and 2 steals. Tar Heels now 15-3 overall, 3-2 in the league. Number 19 pending the new polls. They get to go see the Pony Bros on Thursday.
Ooh, long trip. Did you see the SMU women's basketball events from this past weekend?
Yes.
It was one of the crazier things I've ever seen. So was it Pittsburgh?
Yes.
So they were playing Pitt. Mm-hmm. And SMU was up and these numbers might not be exactly right. I think it was up 51-18 or something at halftime.
They were up by 32 at one point.
Yeah. And then Pitt outscores them 28-0 in the third quarter. And it then hits the first, makes the first 3 points. I don't know if it was a three-pointer or free throws or what, but scores the first 3 points of the second quarter or the fourth quarter. There was a 31-0 run in there. That's incredible.
Well, and Pitt ended up winning the game by double figures.
Yeah.
Normally, if you're down by 32 and have a big comeback, well, normally that would not occur. But if you're down by 32 and have a big comeback, you win on some kind of walk-off shot. They won comfortably by double figures. They're like, oh, we're down 32. All right, let's start playing. 28-0 in the third quarter. Again, this was SMU and Pitt. But
right. So, okay, just to finish this up. At the end of the first quarter, it was 32-7 SMU. Then at halftime, it was 49-18 at halftime. Then Pitt outscores SMU 28-0 in the third quarter and 26-10 in the fourth quarter. So what is that? 54-10 in the second half. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that.
Incredible halftime speech.
Yeah. All right, sorry, Adam. I derailed. This is a Tar Heel Olympic sports update, but I derailed it. But that was just a wild score.
Well, SMU's next game after that weird one is against the Tar Heels on Thursday in Dallas. Can't wait for the report back from the Courtney Banghart's team about hanging out with the Pony Bros.
Pony gals.
We're all Pony Bros. Swimming and diving hung out with Duke on Friday, and they beat them twice. Men and women both swept the Blue Devils. Men had 11 wins. Women had 8 wins. You already know Aranza Vasquez won the diving. Her brother won the men's diving. When they start the diving, they put the Vasquezes in the first slot of every event, and then they go from there.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Aranza was there. They're just like, oh, you got first. Carolina goes to NC State on Friday. Women's tennis debuted some new faces this weekend. Tar Heels are number 6 in the country, and they got 2 sweeps on Sunday. Beat James Madison, beat Campbell, 7-0 in both of those. The return of Reese Brantmeyer who had gotten injured last year and missed essentially the whole season. She played number one singles in that opener and won it 6-1, 6-3. 2 freshmen got their first college victories, Alanis Hamilton and Claire Hill. I think they might be early enrollees. I think maybe they were in the class of 2025, but they're playing. So that's a good sign for Tar Heel depth. Carolina's at home against Gardner-Webb on Saturday. And then the one event that was not a victory was still a really strong performance for gymnastics.
Yeah.
They went to Alabama on Friday. Alabama's number 6 in the country. And Carolina posted the highest opening meet team score in program history. Gwen Fink tied for first on beam with a career-high 9.9. And Julia Noer was third in the all-around. So Alabama won the meet. But the Tar Heels really performed well, set a good tone for the rest of the year. They'll be at home on Friday, first home meet. Introductions at 6:45, which are good at gymnastics.
Yeah, they
meets. That's against George Washington.
Dana Durante, I mean, she's building that program. And, of course, she has history. She was the head coach at Georgia for a while, so she has some ties in the SEC. But, I mean, yeah, go take on one of the best. And that's how you get better. And I think you've seen Carolina slowly improve here. I'm looking forward to their season, as I always am. You said they're at home on Friday?
Against George Washington, it's the Hippos.
Slide, what are they actually? Revolutionaries.
Yeah.
Revolutionaries.
Yeah. Revolutionary. Yeah. You can't put that on a leotard.
Yeah.
There's no way their leotards say
can only say
revolutionary.
Revs, I'm sure.
Or this probably just says GW with a little picture of a hippo. You probably wouldn't put that on a leotard.
Yeah. But looking forward to that. I'm going to check out the gym heels this year. Hopefully, maybe on Friday.